I'm Trixie Mattel.
And I am Katya.
And we are two queens who like
To watch.
That's right, we love to watch right here on Netflix.
What are we gonna watch today?
Oh my God, season 6 of Black Mirror, you bitch.
And for the first time ever, a live studio audience.
Woo! Concrete jungle where dreams are made.
This is so crazy.
It's so weird.
We usually do this in a room it's all darkness. It's in a Netflix-sized
like an
soundstage,
airport
like
hangar.
like a football
Yeah,
field.
it's huge.
And then there's a tiny fake living room in the middle of it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's where we sit. This particular episode of Black Mirror is called Joan is Awful.
Yeah.
If there is a Joan here, sorry.
Sorry to this Joan. Now, for the people at home, there will be spoilers, so please watch the show and come back to us once you've done that. Thank you so much. You lied about the air conditioning, Jennifer.
Thank you. We
lied about the air
It was
conditioning.
gonna be really cold in here, and
It is
here we
nothing
are.
of the
in
sort.
what are we in Florida? Like
It's
what?
nothing of the sort.
Did you guys all get in here this morning and start mouth breathing to get at this temperature? Like how did we?
Drain the swamp. This one.
Okay, so we meet Joan, and she's done her morning routine, and now she's about to head to work.
And I think she works at a place that is strikingly familiar to maybe, say, Netflix.
Netflix. I know. I want
You'll
job
see.
security, but I'm also gonna make fun of it. So
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I got Hulu online too. That's all I'm saying.
That is a tough hairstyle. Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm fine with coloring your hair whatever color you want, but you have to commit to the upkeep. So if I see 2 months of growth, we're gonna talk.
Because if you
know
have
what I
those
mean?
two little blonde rat tails and then you have 3 inches of brown grown in.
Yeah, then what are we doing?
What are we doing
What do
there?
we do? Do you also
Yeah.
do half your makeup? Like, what are we talking about? Not to be dumb, is that a wig? That's a wig.
You think anybody would let them do that to
That's
their real-
Wiggy McGillicuddy.
They would have to
Yeah.
pay her so much money.
A little bit of Lexus in the house tonight. Can you believe that? I know her as a comedic actress. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, she's
drama.
about to flex her dramatic muscles, you bitch.
Love that.
Yeah. Do you listen to rap music in the car? You don't drive.
I don't drive,
Okay.
but I get in cars and listen to music.
Yeah, you love it?
It's the best way to listen to music. Am I wrong?
You're not
All
wrong.
your ladies pop y'all pussy like this.
Right.
In my
Shake
94
your body, don't stop,
Accord.
don't miss.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so Joan does her job today, and unfortunately, she's about to fire someone.
That's tough.
It's really tough. Have you ever fired anybody?
I fired people. I
That
might do a
is-
firing a little later. Hey, I've been
You fire
fired.
people now because you're a boss.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A bitch and a boss, and I shine like gloss. But I have been fired
rap
though
music.
4 times, and being fired is worse. It's worse.
yes.
I've been fired in person, over the phone, via email. Any way you can reach me, I can be fired.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was fired while I had a huge psoriasis outbreak in the parking lot of the emergency room on my little Nokia flip phone. And I was crying. That was from the tea shop, the Secret Lesbians. I told you
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
We can't deep dive into every detail. If you know, you know. If you know about the lesbian tea shop, you know.
Okay, give me 5.
Now, is this a WeWork space? This doesn't look like a WeWork.
Open concept,
She's
open,
in the
everything
mezzanine
glass.
at a convention center pretending she works there. Like that's at Seattle Comic-Con. We're just gonna see like a Thor walk by.
Okay, so Joan's ex-boyfriend Mac texts her.
I miss you.
How do you feel about text messages on the screen?
I prefer receiving my message psychically. Yeah.
You're letting me go?
You know, I've never had a corporate job. This is like a real firing. I've never had like a real come in the office.
Yeah, we have HR on the line.
Oh God.
Yeah, Hillary Rodham. Clinton. Not good.
Joan doesn't feel like the main character in her own life. Girl, I don't know because honestly, girl,
Oh, my legs are so itchy.
because if you're the type of person who posts like an Instagram picture and says like main character, log off, bitch. Step away from the Samsung Galaxy and get the out of here. but however, you should feel like
You
the main-
are.
Yeah.
You have to be.
You have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You must confront that responsibility every morning, honey.
Yeah, and
You
this
have
is
to confront
Netflix.
it.
If you're not the main character now, they'll reuse you for something else.
Mama, stay
Same
tuned.
6 actors,
Stay
over and over
tuned.
again.
Vanessa Hudgens' contract is almost up. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if there's ever a Netflix show where there's drag queens and they don't use us. Oh, they did Age and the Queen. They did it.
That was
Wasn't
on
that
Netflix?
You were in it.
I don't remember what network it was on.
It was a long time ago, you guys. But if there's ever like a background scene, wait, weren't you on Lucifer?
I was.
That's Netflix.
That was Netflix.
You are a recurring guest actress.
I am.
Oh no.
Jordan, is that you? I know you're there.
Oh man, if you flick your cigarette butt on somebody, you got it. This is what you do. This is so simple. That is something only a smoker will relate to. I'm an ex-smoker, but I know you go down there, you pick up the cigarette, you put it out on your tongue, you say, "I'm so sorry."
You have
and
to.
they'll get it.
You take the ashes,
Yeah.
you do the forehead, the cross.
Yeah. Happy Easter, bitch.
Happy Easter, bitch.
I mean, I'm engaged to Krish.
Yes.
Krish? She's
What?
not lesbian?
She's not a les.
She has that hair.
No,
Okay,
she's.
great.
I know that is. It's a little bit of. It's a little. Yeah, it is.
I mean,
That
there's eating
hair is
pussy
there.
and there's that hair. You know what I
I just feel like I never, actively chose this.
Actually, it was selected for you by the very people in this room.
mean? From a pile of stuff. Yeah.
The main character in my
You're supposed to dress for the job you want. She wants to work at the post office, but be a Boy Scout. I don't know what the she's doing. I really don't know. If you thought your day was gonna be televised, would you behave differently?
I probably would spend less than 12 hours masturbating to like Romanian porn. Yeah, I think so. I'd probably sit up straight and.
Yeah,
you know.
I would. You know what? To be honest, I would start the day and then I would forget about the body mic and the cameras, and I would start acting like a fucking idiot.
That's
You know
how
what I mean?
reality TV works.
I
They
know.
cut you down.
I know.
You end up forgetting. and then
You
just
end up
act a fool.
forgetting.
Yeah.
And you get Stockholm Syndrome where you think everything's real. You
Yeah.
think the camera people are your friends.
Yeah.
They're not.
I wish they would make a show of me so they could really find someone like, I don't know, Christy Turlington or like, someone like really.
Mama June. Yeah.
So good to see you. I love your hair like that.
Rob Delaney! He's so funny.
Because you look hot as shit.
Yeah, he's quite the looker too, huh?
Oh, he's so sexy.
He's
so
cute.
funny, so wonderful.
I mean, you came to see me.
Now, New York, this is called a normal-sized restaurant, and what it is there's space to move, breathe, eat. Yes.
You broke my fucking heart. And just when I'm picking up all of the pieces of my life, you pop back up like a fucking...
Like an unflushed turd.
Some people are into that.
I want to be with you.
How could she stay mad at him?
What do you do?
Sex with the ex is too easy. You know it, you know how to get it, you know what everyone likes.
It's the old, same old, same old.
Sex with my exes?
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
My ex Kyle's here tonight.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Joan heads home where Krish is cooking dinner. And they're looking for a new show to watch, a new program on Streamberry, which is like Netflix.
Yes.
If this is a scene where she finds out about the show because of a show I like to watch on Streamberry.
Oh, that would have been a great idea. Streamberry. Is that the name you would have used?
No.
No.
Sounds like
I would have just said Netflix.
I see what she's going through because that guy was hot, but Krish is really hot too.
Yeah.
Joan is awful.
Oh my God, Mary.
That's Salma Hayek?
She even has your hair.
That's not my hair.
I would love if she was like, "That's not my hair." He's like, "Yeah, she styled hers." Like, I would love if he read her.
Yeah, she's had a keratin treatment in the last 3 years, you bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Joan is shady.
Now Joan is gonna see her entire day that we just saw turn into a TV show.
You should see this.
Gaze?
Yeah.
Gaze with half full glass of wine? Yeah, right. He's like, "Babe." Yeah.
Everybody can see this? Can everybody that has Streamberry watch this?
So now Krish gets the tea spilled upon him about what she actually said to her therapist. He sees everything, including the little meeting with Mac, so he is appropriately horrified.
I would have already jumped out the window. Like, the texts. He loves it. Oh my God. This is about my life.
How is it possible?
She hasn't yet celebrated that she's being played by Salma Hayek.
I know. Look on the bright side.
The show Joan is Awful plays right up until the end of the evening, mirroring, or should we say black mirroring, everything we've seen so far.
Joan is awful?
What?
Kate Blanchett!
Kate Blanchett? She looks great.
Yeah.
That's Kate Blanchett.
These facts are like,
now-
is that Kate?
She looks good.
The gay brain.
It's not real.
You have to just be honest.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's all on the table. You just your legs are spread, you have no panties on, you just accept it.
Yeah.
Show me your phone.
Would you show him your phone?
I would just get her phone and look through it.
Yeah, you don't ask.
Yeah.
You ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
David Silver's watching this, then I would never do that. Quite an unorthodox way to license someone's rights, like to their life, is just make it anyway, and then they can't have anything to do about it.
Yeah.
Almost like, I don't know, everything about celebrities who've died, that we just continue to make movies about them.
Oh,
without
I know,
their
we're just
consent.
kicking their corpses. for
Every
more dollars.
fucking 2.5 months, they're like, another Anna Nicole piece. We have to.
Anna Nicole,
Like,
Princess Di, Marilyn Monroe.
Elvis, they love it.
Leave
They-
those blonde dead bitches alone.
Let people be
Jesus
dead.
Christ.
I don't think this is our future, per se.
I don't think it's our future. I think it actually is like, this has done been happened.
Yeah, if we're doing it for comedy, I think it's okay.
Right.
But not for life.
Chat GPT and all that stuff.
A lot of you should be striking right now.
Everybody saw it. It's all anyone can talk about.
Joan is being let go, even though it wasn't her, it was Salma Hayek.
Your water cooler talk, look on the bright side. All press is good press.
That's a good point.
You know?
She should be releasing like a toaster
A single
oven or something.
She should have like a single ready to drop.
She should have a single, a toaster oven. I saw
I flicked
Pop-Up.
that cigarette on that girl. Ooh.
Sayonara, Queen.
Yes.
Look at her in the middle. Look at her with the hair and the mustache.
Word.
So embarrassing.
You don't want queer people watching while you get fired.
No.
They'd be like,
Oh, is
get
that
out,
Jabuki?
bitch.
Is that Jabuki?
Is that
That's
Jabuki?
Jabuki Young right on the left.
Jabuki,
Oh my
right?
God.
I can't see. I can't.
Oh my God, it's right there!
Jabuki's here.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
He's
That's
right
so
there.
weird.
He's right there.
Oh, that's like Black Mirror.
Did you
That's like
consent
Black
to
Mirror.
this?
Oh my
Are they
God.
using your image? Okay.
Yeah. They
You're
paid
cool
him.
with Street
They paid him. They paid him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, anybody else want to speak up? If you're here? Okay, great. God, all the stars are arts. I love you so much, my God.
I know, you're
This
so
is
funny.
cool.
Oh my gosh.
I have to say that actually, legally, the Streamberry Corporation can.
So she goes to her lawyer only to find out that she did not read the fine print and she has signed her life away.
Trust me.
To when
Stream.
did she sign?
The user terms and agreement of Streamberry basically is like
Streamberry.
everything you do can be used against you in a court of television.
Oh my God. I bet you Grindr is doing the same fucking thing with all you host pictures and shit.
Okay, well, Salma Hayek.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Exactly.
She's right. Thank you.
She's right.
No, I'm gonna sue Salma Hayek.
No, technically, the show deploys a digital likeness of Miss Hayek.
Not to be ungrateful. If we reach the point where you can do this without me being here,
Honey, you will be grateful. And
thank you.
yeah.
Girl, that's what I'm saying. Being first on the call sheet and not going to set, honey, darling, diva. Damn.
Do you ever read any of that?
Yes, oh yes. I have to read all that shit. I have worked on several shows where whether or not I'm in drag, they want the likeness to my character. They ask for
crazy.
everything up front. Yes,
That's
it's
crazy.
One certain network asked for ownership to all my music. I was like, you're all crazy. Oh yes. Oh yes, America. Oh yes. You gotta read the fine print, but you gotta be able to see really good and be literate. That's the the kicker. I mean, have you ever read the fine print on like a
I've never
streaming
read-
agreement? No, it could say anything.
Joan makes a plan, figuring out that the real-life Salma Hayek might have an issue with how her likeness is used. She's doing this to like get the.
Oh,
yeah.
this is for diarrhea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Does it have to be
Oh, she
diarrhea?
does, she
Can't
does.
she just like wait to?
I think she's.
Does it have
I think
to be soft
she's
turds?
filling up the tank before she cuts out the bottom of it. If you know what I mean.
What is that?
Laxative.
Oh, I was like, is she making a gin and tonic? She's getting wild.
May not be wet.
She's stopping down at the church.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, you have that outfit.
I do. First of all. And that is way cleaner than mine looks. I almost shit myself yesterday. In the dressing room of a clothing store.
Okay.
And I had to go like this. I had to hold the wall, and I hold myself, and I go, like mouth open, and it worked.
What store was it?
A Bloomingdale's.
You know what happens to me in New York though? I never. Where do people pee? I tried to pee in Central
On the
Park
street,
today,
you don't smell
and I was
that?
like, I was afraid. I was afraid to pee in Central Park on a tree because I was like,
You pee in a tree in Central Park, you pervert.
he was like. But then watch, I'd be the only gay guy going to the bushes to pee, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, local sex offender Trixie Mattel, like. Just as Joan planned, Selma does not want her image used as this. But there's nothing Selma can do legally either.
So this character, whose face do they have? Do they have your face or my face?
Me with the Barbie movie.
Salma Hayek's face. So then whose anus is doing the shitting?
Oh my God.
Whose anus was doing the thing?
Your image rights agreement with Streambury specifically covers any acts or behaviors Joan may exhibit up to, including, and beyond defecation.
Beyond defecation?
What's beyond defecation?
Mamba, you don't want to know.
Sounds like a fragrance. Beyond defecation. Free gift with purchase at Nordstrom.
Is there defecation clause in your contract?
I added it in. Yeah.
You know I don't read this crap. I am a dyslexic, talented actress with questionable English. That's why I overpay you to protect me. I mean, doesn't my asshole have any rights?
She's preaching to the choir, people.
She wants to know.
Doesn't
She's
my
got a point.
asshole have any rights?
Yeah.
How many times have I had to say that, you know?
Okay, so Selma takes matters into her own hands and finds Joan, and they team up to go find the quantum computer.
Could be worse. She could get lured down here to sit on a couch with cross-dressers, you know? Could be worse.
It's out there for everyone to watch, and you signed up to be the face of it.
Damn.
She's so pretty.
Fucking enabler. I should be yelling at you.
You are yelling at me.
Well, I did.
I don't think this is Selma's fault.
Of course not. They're both victims.
I mean, how do you think Kate Blanchett feels about this?
Fuck her.
Work.
They have taken 100 years of cinema and diminished it to an app.
Do you think Netflix ruined film?
No, I think that it's an exciting platform that brings different types of media to people all over the world, and I'm excited to be employed at Netflix. The opinions expressed by Katya are her own and not mine. Selma gets into Streamberry and she helps Joan inside. The CEO reveals its latest innovation. We are all content.
The aim here is to launch unique, tailored content to each
God.
individual in our database. All 800 million of them created on the fly by our system. The most relatable content imaginable.
This is how Trixie Motel happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it all so negative?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Fatima. We did try more affirmative content in the test cell, but we found that our subjects just...
Guilty. Nobody wants. They don't want to see gay people succeed.
No. Michael Cera is going to explain the computer's multiverse levels and how none of this and all of this is real.
There, Source Joan.
Source Joan?
Source Joan.
I'm not the real Joan?
You're a version of
I love Michael Cera.
played by a digital likeness of Annie Murphy,
Who's Annie Murphy?
the actress.
What?
Think about it. It's like the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. Who are you?
Oh my God!
And if you think about it, we're gonna be watching us, watching them, watching us when it comes out. It's like layers Too many layers.
Layers and levels. Now it's making sense why Annie and Selma were us earlier.
Right.
Because we're
They
just
look
like
exactly
them.
like them. Yeah. Annie, AKA Source Joan, takes the axe to the computer to end the cycle.
Come on. Just give that computer.
Quamputa.
Quamputa.
Quamputa. That's funny.
That's fun.
That's funny.
That's
It's
fun.
a quantum computer, right? We barely know how it works. It's basically magic.
It's basically magic.
Yeah. Okay. It's giving like first day on the job where you don't know what anything is. And you're like, this? Oh, that's magic.
Yeah. It's a soft serve machine.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Oh my God.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. What?
Oh,
You were Lena Dunham the whole time. The whole time.
not in New York, Trixie. Not in
Not
New York.
in New York.
Real Joan, AKA Source Joan, tells her therapist that she finally feels like she's the main character in her own life. She opens up a coffee shop and Miss Annie pops by, but they're both on house arrest for killing the Quamputa.
Yeah, like the main character in my own life.
Pure Source Joan energy.
Yeah, I think I
Wow. Go off, Lena.
And you don't feel too confined.
That is a big piece of equipment
do.
there.
House arrest.
That's a f***ing carburetor. Yeah. There's a jetpack that could send her flying through the ceiling at any point.
That's her vape.
It's crazy. I mean, they make it computers smaller than that. They go for this ultra futuristic dystopia and and then have a giant f***ing clunky little prop like that with a big flashing light.
Totally.
The year is 3037
I
and
know.
she has a f***ing anvil on her ankle. Can we get the prop department down here? What the hell is going on there?
Well, this show had everything.
Surveillance, hot women, plots, schemes.
Selma Hayek and Annie Murphy as themselves.
Oh, megawatt stars. Real A-list Hollywood talent.
Yes, ethical dilemmas.
Diarrhea in the church?
Hot guys.
Wait, dick on the head.
Dick on the head.
Diarrhea in the church. Shouldn't be allowed.
And this show had, for the first time ever, a live audience tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So check out
Black Mirror Season 6.
Only on Streamberry. I'm Trixie Mattel.
And I am Katya.
And we are two queens who like to watch.
And today, we're watching Black Mirror Season 6, Joan the Off.
what is happening. Well, you know, we have ChatGPT coming for the writers, and now we have beautiful women taking jobs from drag queens. So I don't know what to do.
Well, for once, I'm sitting on a couch with people whose breasts are bigger than mine.
I don't know.